Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Leaving the city and moving out into the country. We are actually seeing this more and more since COVID, with companies allowing employees to work remotely from almost any location. But it's actually been a trend for decades, especially when starting a family. Our next guest, Katz, is the former publisher of New York Magazine, Vanity Fair, as well as many others. He's also the founder of Mountains Media, which is a resource on how to live your best life outside the city. Alan, we welcome you to the show. I have to make mention, you're in New York City right now. I guess that's where the business part of everything has to go, correct?
Correct, and my family, and we're also upstate as well. So little duality right now, but that's sort of the part and parcel of what goes on.
Yeah, upstate New York is gorgeous as well. All right, now we hear a lot about the mass exodus that we are seeing people from the big cities. Do you think we're actually seeing more of this today? And why do you think, if that's the case? And what's the mindset behind people doing this?
I think you're absolutely correct. It's been going on for a while, and it's really a phenomenon where people are moving from the city to the suburbs and then to the exurbs. But what's been happening, where the phenomenon is taking place, is that people are moving to sort of a tertiary market. In New York City, there's the Hamptons. That's a secondary market for a weekender or a place, but not a place to move and live per se. Whereas the country, where it's fresh air, more breathability, fresh strawberries, and so forth, and you can actually see your neighbors, is sort of the trend.
All right, your new magazine is called The Mountains. Tell us how that all came about.
I've been in the publishing industry, as you duly noted, for quite a while, and also had a house in the country. And I grew up going to the Catskills as a kid. And then in my later life, I went to the other side of the river, to the Berkshire side of New York State, and really enjoyed that sort of duality.
I would imagine, though, with all those things, all the research you have, I believe even with Condé Nast, I mean, it shows you a lot of, when we think of vacations, but people going to where their happiness is found. And that's where it's actually having the space, more space than you would have in the big city, correct?
All of that is true. Certainly looking for more space, looking for fresh air. And all of that was occurring pre-COVID.
Right.
But COVID really juiced it up, and throngs of people moved to the country, so to speak.
All right. You have a concept. It's called decentral lux. Explain what that's all about.
What that means is you could pretty much live anywhere. You used to have to be in the city to get the kind of style and sophistication you're looking for. Then maybe you went to a secondary market and the same stores were there and the same sort of lifestyle was there. What's happening now across the country is that people can live just about anywhere they choose. If you have a phone, a computer, and Amazon, you can pretty much get whatever you want and still live the lifestyle you enjoy. But as you mentioned earlier, businesses are allowing people to work from anywhere, and they're finding out that work is fine, their lifestyle is fine, and everyone's growing that way.
You know, I have a place up in Destin, Florida, and a lot of people, they did that. And COVID started, they had a secondary house. We're like, well, we'll just work from the beach. And they wound up staying there. They're like, I don't want to go back. And I'm certain when you go out to the mountains, when you go any far west, it's just a totally different experience. You feel healthier as well. So you're trying to bring the mountains nationwide. Is that correct? And where can folks be able to check out the magazine?
So there is a reality that it is going to go nationwide eventually. Right now, we're sort of perfecting it where we are in the New York area, and this area has sort of grown the most, the Hudson Valley.
Right.
And you can check us out anywhere across the country on themountainsmedia.com, as well as at The Mountains Media on Instagram.
Okay, let's talk about the most wanted or most sought after places right now. Are they up there like Poughkeepsie, where you're at, up and down the Hudson? Or are you seeing people mainly from the city moving up there, or are they going out west?
So my editor does live in Poughkeepsie. I'm up in Columbia County, which is in between sort of the Berkshires and the Catskills.
Okay.
And that's our whole vibe, is covering the Catskills to the Berkshires and everything in between. And what you found is amazing restaurants, wonderful hotels. It's great biking and hiking and breweries, all the things you would want in life, maybe. And it's available right there. You can still work remotely and get everything you want.
I love this. Tell everybody where they can get more information on this. Maybe you can find out more about the mountains.
You can find out more about the mountains at themountainsmedia.com, also at The Mountains Media on Instagram.
Fantastic. Alan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so very much for having me.
All right.